Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. So today we're going to talk about bar charts and column charts, what the difference is between the two, and how you can leverage them in full. So whether you're a Power BI expert or beginner, this video is going to be helpful for you. All right, so let's start off with talking about bar charts, right? So bar charts are going to help you because it'll allow you to see all the titles of the data point you're looking at on the y-axis, so going top down. And also going to help you when you want to look at categories of data, meaning you have 8 or 10 or maybe even more, you're going to be able to scroll down and look at all those values associated with that data point. So whether it's by sales or region, it's going to help you achieve a deeper analysis. It's also going to be best for comparing categories because you can see those long titles and then different values as well as you're scrolling down. So whereas column, you kind of read naturally left to right. So that's what it provides you. So data is going to be on the x-axis. But the downside is if you have a long title associated with that column or that value, you're not going to be able to really see them too much just because of the amount of space it takes up versus a bar chart. But it will be helpful when you're looking at a month over month analysis. So looking at sales in particular, or you're trying to find an associated value, maybe a high point and low point amongst a array of data points. It's also going to be best for showing trends over time as well. But without further ado, let me show you exactly what I'm talking about so you can see it for yourself. All right, so here we have a bar chart. So as you can see, we have the organization here to the left, and then we have the values associated with each one. So these are all approved absences. We can actually scroll down and look at every single one. We can also change the starting point, right? So what if we wanted to change the starting point to be, 100? So everything starts at 100 versus 0. We can easily go from here, click on visual, expand this out. We could change the range value to be 100 and then automatically shrinks everything. And now if we wanted to simply just shrink this, we could, right? And now you have a smaller width to kind of work with, and then you have more space really on your canvas. I don't really recommend this because it may be difficult to understand kind of where the values are associated with these ones if you don't have data labels on them, but it's ultimately dealer's choice, right? We can also switch the axis position. So if we don't want the names over here, we could also flip it. So we can just switch this simply. Now we have a reverse kind of format of this bar chart. Now there's tons of other formats as well. I'm not going to get into all of them, but what I want to do is show you what does happen if I simply change this from a bar chart to a column chart. All right, so now you can see simply how difficult it is to kind of read all these different names at the bottom. So since I have about 15 plus values up here, it's going to be kind of hard to read. So your best indicator or tip to go off of is if you have 8 or less, it might be helpful just to keep it as a bar chart versus a column chart. Now you can always keep it this way and you can blow this up and we could take up most of the canvas, right? And now you can see most of these a little bit better, but it still doesn't provide the same amount of visibility and clarity as a bar chart would. The question is, how can I really utilize a column chart, right? So let's just switch this graphic a little bit and we're going to convert this to looking at months instead. All right, so now looking at all approved absences over the next 6 months, I can now see what I have over time in a column chart. So this will help me identify how many approved absences I have over the next 6 months easily. And you could also change this to a bar chart if you want. It just depends on how you really want to look at this data. But oftentimes when you're dealing with a date, it's best to look at it in this format so you can easily see, as we often read left to right. So it's just easier to digest in this manner. Now, once again, you have the same formatting options as you would on a bar chart. So I suggest you kind of play around with those and see what works best for you. And this could be also useful when we're looking at states, regions, categories, or something else to that effect. But with that said, think about how you want to really utilize your bar chart versus column chart. Bar charts, once again, can be helpful if you're looking at 8 or more types of data points, whereas a column chart is going to be helpful if you're looking at, less than 8 and you're looking at dates in particular. And then also think about how you want to utilize your filters to kind of shrink the data that you're looking at and to get a specific area or band that you want to present to your end user, just so it's easier on the end user. But with that said, that's all I got for today, folks. Thanks for watching.